in association with Ring Magazine. Along with their great sponsors, Public Investment Fund, Visit Saudi, STC, SRMG, Dr. Suleiman El Habib Medical Group, Saudia, the National Airline of Saudi Arabia, Jeddah Season, Malaf Pola, Visit Qatar, Core Group, Desert, NHC, Jacko, Sky, Arab National Bank, First Data, Stella, and SMC. A big thanks to those great sponsors. The Fatal Fury event is now sold out, but you can still watch it live worldwide on DAZN and in the UK on Sky Sports Box Office. Let's get things started and welcome the participants of our first press conference here today. Our first two fighters competing Saturday in a 12-round cruiserweight contest. Let's first welcome from Atlanta, Georgia, USA. Let's welcome Brandon Bulletproof Clinton. And now let's welcome the fighting pride of Bournemouth, England, known as the Gentleman, Chris Wilhelm Smith. Our next two fighters competing Saturday in a scheduled 12-round contest. It will be for the British Cruiserweight Championship. Let's first welcome the challenger from Tottenham, London, England, Vital, the realist, Riley. And now let's welcome from Gravesend, Kent, England. He is the defending champion, C4 Sheb Clark. Our next two fighters competing Saturday in a scheduled 12-round contest. It will be for the vacant WBA International Middleweight Championship. Let's first welcome from Monaghan, Ireland, known as the Silencer, Aaron McKenna. And now let's welcome from Liverpool, England, Liam Beefy Smith.
It's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog. It's been a hard day's night, I should be sleeping like a log.
Our next two fighters competing Saturday in a trilogy rematch scheduled 12 rounds for the vacant WBA Intercontinental Light Heavyweight Championship. Let's first welcome from Manchester, England, Lyndon King Arthur. And now let's welcome from Ilford, London, England, Anthony, the Beast from the East Yard. And now we hand things over to your host, Mr. Jamie Ward.
Okay, here we go. Well, thank thank you. I think that was Derek Chisora, was it, down there? Oh, was it? Oh, Bennn, I'm sorry, Derek. Sorry.
Yeah, you might be sorry, mate.
Sorry,
You
I'm definitely
took out
sorry.
his job.
One person to accuse, Derek Chisora.
You took out his job. Where's that name?
Welcome to a hugely significant press conference for a hugely significant boxing event taking place this Saturday night right here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We know, of course, the story of the main event, 35 years in the making. The history book reopened, the family feud reignited once more. As the sons of legends, the sons of world champions, Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Bennn take centre stage to settle their own growing personal feud, which has bubbled up and boiled over completely over the last 2 years. Before we talk about the main event a little bit later on, we are going to be talking about the undercard, and it almost seems like a little bit of a disservice to say undercard when you look at the host of talent, former world champions and emerging stars that sit here today. A truly magnificent event brought to you by Ring Magazine to look forward to on Saturday night. Before we do hear from all the fighters taking part this weekend, we are going to hear from the promoters as well. Firstly, Mr. Bennn of Boxer. Bennn, in terms of this, just to be here on this stage, a magnificent event for us all to look forward to on Saturday night. You've got a couple of guys on this undercard in big fights for their career. What does it mean to you, and what does it mean to Boxer as well to be here?
Oh, it means a lot. It's an absolutely enormous event. 4 unbelievable British fights on the undercard, as you say. Each one of them could easily headline their own shows, but for our guys, Chris Smith, coming off the back of the defeat against Zurdo Ramirez for the unification, looking to bounce straight back in against Brandon Glanson, who we know very well is an absolute firefighter, and Vidal Riley is his chance to make a huge statement on this card. I believe he's going to steal the show. He's fighting the Chev Clark, Eddie's guy, and I think we're going to get another win over Matchroom, but it is just a beautiful, beautiful undercard on an unbelievable show. Thank you to His Excellency. Thank you to Boxer, to Matchroom for putting on what is a historic event, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Okay, thank you, Bennn. Let's bring in promoter Eddie Hearn. Eddie, we're going to let you speak now, because I know when Chris Eubank Jr. tends to be present at these press conferences, he doesn't let you get too much of a word in. Now's your chance to get it all off your chest. To be here for Matchroom, the same question I asked Bennn, what does this mean to you and to Matchroom?
Yeah, incredible. Thanks everyone for coming today, firstly. Amazing support from the media for a very big night for British boxing, a very big week for the Ring Magazine, of course. Incredible support from His Excellency, and crazy to think that on Saturday night 65,000 people will dawn on this incredible stadium for a fight of the generations, Chris Eubank Jr. against Conor Bennn. But also amazing to think that 6 days after that we'll be closing down Times Square with the Ring Magazine for just an iconic night in New York, and 24 hours later Canelo Alvarez will make his debut in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia for the undisputed Super Middleweight World Championships. Just an incredible time for boxing, and as you said, an incredible undercard up here on the Matchroom side. 2 guys that we love are in huge fights. I think, as we said to Bennn yesterday, Chev Clark against Vidal Riley is a main event fight, certainly a co-main event on any big card. That's coming early in the night. I think a fight that could steal the show is Liam Smith against Aaron McKenna. I think it's a brilliant fight, and even the 2 fights that we aren't involved with. Brandon Glanson's got plenty to say. I think he's a great character who's coming to win. Chris Smith's been an unbelievable servant for British boxing. And Yard against Arthur 3. So an unbelievable undercard, an iconic main event. And British boxing firmly on the map this weekend. It's been a great run. Thanks to everyone involved, Boxer, the teams, Ring Magazine, our team as well at Matchroom, the best in the game. Shout out as always to Frank Smith there. He's been working around the clock on this event and in Times Square next week. Rick, everybody at the Ring Magazine, thank you so much, and good luck to everybody up here. Remember this night, whether you're tuning in live on DAZN around the world or you're in the stadium, and of course if you're lucky enough to be fighting, remember this night. This is what it's all about. Enjoy yourself.
Okay, thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Bennn as well. We might come back to you if we get time as well to just talk about your guys on the card in better detail. Let's bring in the fighters then, and what a time it is to be a cruiserweight right now. When you look at the current champions, Badou Jack, a big fight coming up for him over in Saudi Arabia. Jai Opataya, Ring Magazine and IBF world champion, and Zurdo Ramirez, currently unified world cruiserweight champion as well. But there's a lot of good fighters following in the pack behind. The 4 fighters indeed, on the card this weekend. Firstly, of course, in the opener, it's Chris Smith against Brandon Glanson. Chris, I'm going to come to you first down there. Good to see you. I mentioned Zerlo Ramirez there. In the months that have followed on from the fight with Zerlo, what have you learned about yourself and what you still want from the mad old world of boxing?
I've got plenty to improve on. That's what I've learned from that fight. You know, I'm honoured to be on a card like this. Thank you to everyone who's involved. But yeah, it's time for me to get back to winning ways, and that's the plan.
And in terms of the champions, I mentioned you talk about that ambition. What is a victory over Brandon Glanton your chance to do, in your opinion?
Yeah, he's highly ranked with all the governing bodies, so it's a good opportunity for me to make a huge statement and then get a shot at one of the champions again.
He's not been quiet in the build-up, and we're going to ask Mr. Glanton about it in just a moment, but what have you done to upset him? Where's that energy come from?
I don't know, I'm sure he'll tell everyone in a minute. He's told most people.
Okay, Chris, wish you the best of luck on Saturday night. Brandon Glanton, welcome. Yesterday on the DAZN broadcast, Chris Smith was doing an interview and you were leaning over, saying something to him. I couldn't quite hear what you were saying. Can you tell us what you were saying to Chris Smith yesterday?
Well, you know what? First and foremost, piggyback off of what Bennn said, I want to thank His Excellency for having me here, boxer, matchroom, obviously my management team, and Team Eubank. I wouldn't even be here without them guys, so thank you for putting this together for me. It's beautiful. As far as Chris, he knows exactly where that energy came from. Chris is a bitch. That's just plain and simple. Chris is a bitch. Obviously, I'm in the UK, so he's got plenty of fans here. But what I love about this place, it's a real fighting country. Obviously, everyone knows boxing was born here, so I won't have to worry about that long. Rounds 1, 2, 3, roll by. They'll be screaming for me. Chris is a bitch.
What is
disrespectful?
Oh, sorry, Brandon. Carry on, Brandon. Sorry.
Oh, that's it.
Okay. What has given you that opinion of Chris Smith in the build-up? Where does that energy come from towards him?
As he said, you know, I didn't plan on getting much into it, but at the media workout in 2023, when Okoli and Bennn fought, he was very disrespectful. Obviously, everyone knows I was there in support of Okoli, helping get ready for the fight. Would have been in the fight myself and had it upset, but yeah, helping him get ready, and he's a great guy, you know. I just, in appreciation for the fight itself, you know, I wanted to congratulate him for having the opportunity. There was no malice, there was no attitude, no problems. Just wanted to congratulate him for making it to this stage where I want to be. I stick my hand out, he walks right past me. It's disrespectful. So, as I said in the interviews, you know, we're men before we're fighters, right? And he is a father before he's a fighter. So, his son has a bitch as a father. I don't care about these cameras. It's like, I'm gonna fuck you up. That's why I'm here.
Woo!
It's not a show. Everyone knows I'm gonna give you brain damage, dog. So it's not a show. It's not for the lights. It's not for the camera. My family probably in their phone right now because they know it's true. They don't worry about me when I fight. So that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Just finally, Chris, I will offer you an opportunity just to respond to that one.
I'll leave my talking to Saturday.
Chris is a bitch.
Okay, well, they're talking very nearly over a great fight to kick things off on Saturday night. Chris Smith against Brandon Glanton, and sticking with the cruiserweight division, there is a domestic banger to look forward to on Saturday night. Our very own North London derby here at the home of Tottenham Hotspur, of course. British cruiserweight champion, lifelong Arsenal supporter, Mr. Chev Clark, meets lifelong Tottenham supporter, Mr. Vidal Riley. Chev, let me come to you first. A bit like Chris, looking to bounce back to winning ways in the months that have followed on from that Mascara defeat for the European title over in Monte Carlo in December. What have you done in this camp differently to look to improve on ahead of another big fight in your journey on Saturday night?
I've taken, first of all, good evening to everybody. Thank you to all the organisers, Turkey Al Sheikh and the ring. But yeah, after the defeat, you know, like anybody, you don't want your O to go, so I took myself away. I've been in the dungeon, as you can see. I've just been working on the things that I didn't do right that night. And yeah, come Saturday night, we'll show that.
And of course, no doubt every Arsenal fan's dream to fight here at the home of Tottenham Hotspur. Despite being the champion, how are you feeling about everything attached to this fight and the away day as well here at Tottenham?
I mean, he would have been better at the Emirates, wouldn't he? I mean, this is a toilet.
Depends who you ask, I suppose. And just finally, Chef, when you look at Vidal Riley as a challenge, he said this is his destiny to win the British title on Saturday night. What is he in the way of for you right now, and how do you beat him?
Look, destiny changes every day, doesn't it? It changes with every decision you make, so it's good he's got a crystal ball. But yeah, he's in the way of me providing for my family, and that's ultimately what it comes down to. So, you know, my family's got to eat at the end of the day. And, you know, I've got plans, me and Eddie's got plans for the future, so it's going to be great. Tune in Saturday night. This fight's going to seal the show.
Okay, well, let's bring in Vidal Riley. Vidal, I just use that word there, destiny. We know you're a lifelong Tottenham Hotspur supporter, fighting for the British title as well. In what ways is this just about the dream scenario you could have always imagined?
Well, firstly, I'd like to thank all the organisers, my respects to everyone that's allowed me to have this opportunity. It is destiny, because there's been many things along my journey that I've said I'd do years before I'd do it. You know, it looked like it might not happen, it looked like it would never happen, and then I'm on the road, I'm on the track, I'm here in Tottenham, grew up 5 minutes down the road, get to fight an Arsenal fan for the British title. This is destiny. I just need to fulfill it, and I'll do that Saturday night.
And in terms of Chef Clark as a challenge, particularly his last 2 performances, you talked on the DAZN broadcast about being able to take something from them 2 performances. What is that?
It's not just the last 2 performances. I've watched Chef for years. I've seen Chef for years. I know what he brings to the table. He's going to bring something different. That's exciting. That's challenge. I like that. But whatever he brings, I will come out on top.
27 years of age, you said you feel this has come at the perfect time for you. And you said you'll show Chef's age in there on Saturday. Ultimately, what does this come down to, in your opinion?
It's about waves and seasons. Life is waves and seasons. And now it's my wave. If everyone that is a Chef's age mate has touched the world level, fought for world titles, been at that level, he hasn't done that. He's missed his wave. I'm 27 years old. It's the right age to be British champion and continue to climb.
Missed the wave, Chef?
You know, some people ride the wave and some people provide the wave. So I ain't riding no wave. Pause.
Quick one for the 2 promoters, of course. This is Matchroom versus Boxer. In this one as well, Bennn, should I make your case for your man?
Look, I think Vidal, we started working with him a couple of years ago now, and I've always been amazed. You know, this is a guy that can make a lot of money outside the ring. This is a guy with millions of followers. This is a guy that brings so much else to the table, but it was always Bennn. I want to be respected. I want to do things the traditional route. I want to do things the hard way. And that's what Saturday night's about for Vidal. It's about proving himself. He's an elite level talent. Throughout the GB system, he was always considered the best. He took a bit of time away, came back into the professional sport, and has been flawless since. And I really believe this is his coming out party. I really believe this is his time. I think after this, I want to see him headlining shows. I want to see him being a big star in British boxing, and Chef Clark standing in his way. The British title up for grabs, and this is everything that he's ever wanted at his hometown and in Tottenham. So I think there's only one winner on Saturday.
One winner, Eddie Hearn, according to Bennn. Shall I make your case for Chef Clark?
I think Benn's right. I think it's a brilliant fight. I mean, I have to give props to Vidal, but not, you know.
Wait. What part is Bennn right?
Small. It's a great fight, but that's about where it ends. I think Vidal Riley, when he first came on the scene, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, I thought he was leading himself into the YouTube world of boxing, and I respect the fact that he's trying to, go and win a British title. I just think that the experience of Chef Clark, the pedigree of Chef Clark, the amateur, journey of Chef Clark, the Olympics, I just think he's a world-class fighter. He's moved incredibly quickly. He's had 11 fights. He's boxed as co-main event in Los Angeles in a war. He was boxing guys like Basil Duca in his 3rd and 4th fight. He lost against a world-ranked fighter in his last fight. But he must win on Saturday. And and I believe he'll win, but I don't think it'll be an easy fight. And I think Vidal Riley's a quality competitor with a big heart, but I just don't think he's going to be good enough to beat Chev Clark. And I think it'll be a tremendous fight, but I expect Chev to win this fight, get that British title won, and then move back where he should be, which is against the world-class cruiserweights.
I already have the title ready. Come on now.
Win the British title outright. Chev, I want you to tease me. I'm supposed to be bantering with him, not you. Promise in paradise. I'll be screaming for you on Saturday.
Hey, Chev avoided confrontation anyway, so.
Sorry, mate?
I'm surprised he said his name.
Who?
Chev avoids confrontation anyway, ain't that right, Chev?
Me?
I avoid confrontation.
Brandon said that he wants to bash you up.
But don't be careful, your bra might get wet, buddy.
I can't understand you, but listen, we've been walking around all week, bro. You walked past me right here where my man's sitting.
Yeah, I tried
And you ain't said
I tried to help you up, but you did the same thing Billum did. Two bitches on the same side. That's crazy.
Listen, if you want to do it now, we can do it now.
Go on. Please don't. Please.
Stop all of that now.
You better watch your mouth, boy.
What are you calling boy?
Brandon's on smoke down there, isn't he?
Okay, well, didn't want to interrupt that, but as I said, a terrific time to be a cruiserweight indeed, as if you needed reminding. There you go. And when you look into this next contest as well on Saturday night, a great fight in the middleweight division, former world champion Liam Smith back after a lengthy time out the ring. Of course, the last time we saw him was that defeat to Chris Eubank Jr. up in Manchester. He meets 19-0 Aaron McKenna. They call him the silencer. And Aaron, you believe on Saturday night you'll silence any doubters who are telling you that this is a step too far, too soon against a fighter like Liam Smith?
Yeah, I understand there's a lot of people, saying it's too soon for me, it's too early, I'm too young. I don't have the experience, but now it's my time to show everyone that all the training, all the hard work, all the experience I've had throughout the years will pay off, and Saturday night I look forward to it.
What version of Liam Smith do you want to beat on Saturday night?
The best version, and I do expect the best version of Liam Smith to turn up. I want the one that knocked out Chris Eubank, and I believe that's the one that's coming. It was only 2 fights ago where he knocked out Eubank in devastating fashion, so that's the one I do that turns up.
Well, let's bring Liam Smith in as well. Liam, you've been at the very top of the sport. Despite that, as I say, 19 months out the ring. Do you feel like you're coming into this weekend with something to prove?
Yeah, first of all, Jamie, I want to just thank His Excellency for having me on a huge ring card. Eddie, Frank Smith, good to be back. And we have had a tough 12 months since, obviously 18 months when I lost to Chris, getting injured after it, falling ill for the huge September card at Wembley. But it's good to be back. It's good to be back fit and healthy, back in shape, and I'm looking forward to this. And like I say, the best Liam Smith turns up. Aaron McKenna's made for me, and that's the one I fully intend to turn up.
When you came face to face at the Grand Arrivals, you said that you'd already noticed a few kinks in the armour. You said that you feel he looks nervous. Where did you get that from, and how did that come about in your mindset from just that short face to face?
Yeah, I just think the style wise, the attitude wise, him and his brother, they're kind of the same thing. I think the game, they're very hungry, enthusiastic kids, but I also feel that's going to be, Aaron's downfall. Wanting to have an 8 minute stare off. We've got another 3, we've probably got another one in a minute, another one tomorrow. I think he showed a little bit of a kink in his armour already, and he's got a lot to soak up on Saturday night.
What do you make of that, Aaron?
Listen, this is my way of doing things. I don't change anything for no one, and this is the fight game. Saturday night, it's going to be a war, me and Liam Smith. I think it's going to steal the show. You can have it in the phone booth. It's going to be that good, and once that bell goes, I'm going to...
Not if you go southpaw like you did just the other.
Yeah?
Not as you go southpaw like you did just the other.
You never know. That's to keep you thinking. If I come out southpaw...
Got an 18-foot ring, come out southpaw, orthodox or whatever way you want. 18-foot ring, I'll get you.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to be taking a step back.
No problem.
I believe I'm the stronger guy. After 6 rounds, you're expecting me to get tired. I think It's going to go the other way around.
No problem.
Can we push you both for a final prediction in 1 sentence, Liam Smith?
Yeah, I think, you know, I'm going to start very competitive, very early, but I'll break him down to go from late on.
I think I'll knock him out. I meet him in the middle of the ring, push him back. Halfway through the fight, that's when I'll really drive forward and take over.
Okay, tremendous fight to look forward to on Saturday night in the middleweight division. Liam Smith and the unbeaten Aaron McKenna can't wait for that one, and we look forward to this one as well. It's one apiece between these two, and what a great time it is right now as well. We talked about the cruiserweight division earlier on, but to be a light heavyweight as well right now on the domestic and the world scene, of course, Artur Beterbiev, Dmitry Bivol have treated us to two classic undisputed world championship fights in Saudi Arabia, the likes of David Benavidez, Callum Smith, Joshua Buatsi, David Rowe. The list goes on, are following in pursuit of those champions, and the winner of this fight on Saturday night, no doubt, will be right in the frame to put themselves in a huge fight at the back end of 2025. Lyndon, let me come to you first. One apiece in this one with Anthony Yarde. Is this a fight that you always saw on the horizon? Is it a fight that you always wanted to bury your own personal rivalry with Anthony Yarde?
It wasn't one where I would lose sleep over it never happening, but I always thought that it would happen eventually, yeah.
And in terms of the mindset for you, I heard you yesterday talking to Ring Magazine, and you said, look, after you fought Bivol, you really had to dig in that night, you went 12 rounds. In the fight that followed that, perhaps you found it a little bit difficult to get up for it in the same way. How has the desire refound you in this camp for this fight with Anthony Yarde?
Yeah, obviously it's the third fight, and the way that I lost the second fight is, I won't say embarrassing because it's the fight game, but it kind of stung me a little bit, and it was a hard bitter pill to swallow. So I'm here now to right that wrong.
Anthony, let's bring you in. I spoke to you yesterday, and you said, well, I said it's one apiece between you and Lyndon Arthur, and you gritted your teeth and you said that annoys me. Why is that?
When I first fought Lyndon Arthur, I was going through a lot. I've never been the one to make excuses. But it was during COVID, no crowd. I lost 4 family members, my dad being one of them. But my mentality at the time was, you know, you got to be professional. You know, if a fight gets offered to you, you got to take it. It will keep me preoccupied, keep my mind off of it. But again, I didn't get the decision. He won by split decision. I was fuming. I was just saying to myself, like, I don't think he's got the ability to beat me. When I watched it back, I was disappointed in myself. I was like, that's not me, etc. So when the rematch got made, I said, all right, I need to show them what I'm about. What caused a bit of grit as well is how he acted after that fight. After the first fight, there was like an arrogance that came about that wasn't there before. Before it was very respectful. It was like, you know, give me the opportunity, we're fighting, etc. I congratulated him. I even messaged him on Instagram saying, you know what, congratulations, bro. Like, I know where you come from. I come from a similar background. You get what I'm saying? You've bettered your life. And then I see some interviews with Gloria and stuff, talking about it was easy, one hand and stuff. So I said, okay. Second fight comes up. I said, I'm going to knock him out. I'm going to show him what I'm about. And that chip still hasn't gone. I'll be honest with you. So I'm looking forward to it.
What do you make of that, Lyndon?
It is what it is. We fight on Saturday, so it makes no difference.
Final one to you then, Lyndon. After you've beaten Anthony Yarde before, tell us how you do it again on Saturday night.
I think I get him late, if I'm honest.
And for you, Anthony, as I keep talking about big fights, awaiting when you've been in there with some of the best, Kovalev, Beterbiev, that everyone keeps talking about that fight with you and Joshua Buatsi, who knows if we'll see that one day, but none of that matters. Right now you've got a very hungry Lyndon Arthur in front of you. How do you settle your own rivalry in this trilogy on Saturday?
Not really thinking about Lyndon Arthur, but me as a person, when I got into the sport, I wanted to be entertaining. I think that's how I kind of made a name for myself. So you're going to see more of that coming on Saturday. I want to be as exciting as I've ever been. So yeah, I'm excited for it.
Okay, well, what a supporting cast this is. So much to look forward to on Saturday night. As far as this stacked undercard goes, we are going to pause now, I believe, for some face-offs. Main event press conference.
The final press conference for the big event coming up this Saturday, April 26th. right here in London at sold-out Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's the Fatal Fury main event. On top of the card, a great night of world-class professional boxing for your entertainment. And it's all brought to you by the Bible of Boxing Ring Magazine, along with S&K Corporation, publisher of the combat video game Fatal Fury City of Wolves, and Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing, Ben Shalom for Boxer and Box Raw. Sponsorship provided by the Public Investment Fund, Visit Saudi, STC, SRMG, Dr. Sulan Al Habib Medical Group, Saudia, the national airline of Saudi Arabia, Jeddah Season, Milath Cola, Visit Qatar, Core Group, Desert, NHC, Jocko, Sky, Arab National Bank, First Data, Sella, and SMC. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this Saturday night, April 26th, at sold-out Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, London, broadcast live worldwide on DAZN and on Sky Sports box office in the UK, also available on DAZN in the United Kingdom. It's the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing in the middleweight division, on the line, legacy, and perhaps more important than anything, bragging rights. So ladies and gentlemen, let's bring the fighters to the stage and to their seats for this final press conference. Introducing first, record, a perfect one. 23 fights, 23 victories, including 14 wins by knockout. From London, England, he's the European Continental Welterweight Champion, the undefeated Conor, the Destroyer, Bennn. And let's welcome his opponent to the stage. An outstanding professional record of 34 victories, 25 big wins by knockout, 3 defeats. From East Sussex, England, the 3-time IBO World Champion and current IBO Middleweight Champion of the World, he is Chris Next Gen Eubank Jr. And at this time, ladies and gentlemen, let's turn this over to our host for this press conference. Please welcome Mr. Jamie Ward.
Thank you, Michael. Your host, Jamie Ward, from the unmistakable greatest Mr. Michael Buffer. No doubt that will be clipped up immediately. That is one for the album. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go once again. The main event press conference. Look, we like boxing. That's why we're all here covering this wonderful sport. When we have a good fight, we like it a little bit more. But when we have a great fight, a mega fight, it's quite simple. We love it. And that is exactly what we have on Saturday night, a mega fight. The continuation of one of the greatest rivalries the sport has ever been blessed with. 35 years in the making, the Sons of Legends relight that flame once again. On the grandest stage, a sold-out Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, in a quest for pride, bragging rights, family, supremacy, but as we said earlier, much more importantly than that is to settle their own growing, personal, deeply personal feud which has developed over the last couple of years. Ring Magazine, Fatal Fury City of the Wolves proudly present Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Bennn. And I have no doubt, aside from the millions watching around the world, that for those lucky enough to be here on Saturday night, 65,000 sold out at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, that April 26th, 2025, in the years to come, will be looked back upon as an I was there moment. Before we hear from those involved, and of course the most important people on this stage, Chris and Conor, we are going to hear from Rick Reno, COO of the Ring Magazine, to say a few words.
first, I want to thank everybody for coming out and supporting this event. And, you know, I want to say, you know, make no mistake about it. This is not a Matchroom event. This is not a Boxer event. This is a Ring Magazine event. This is our identity, is these stack loaded cards. You know, when we first wanted to put cards together, you know, we looked at the marketplace, and quite honestly, there was a lot of garbage out there, a lot of garbage events being peddled. When we, you know, met with different broadcasters to, you know, show them some of the events we wanted to put together, I mean, the people at the Zone, there were like tears in their eyes, tears of happiness. Like, oh, you're gonna present this to us? Because they've been peddled so much shit over the years that they were like, oh my God, you're gonna do events like this? And we said, we promise, we won't go away. It won't be 1 or 2 events, there'll be plenty of events. So the people that, you know, the promoters are partnering with us, they know their fighters are gonna be in tough fights. There's no gimmies. Every now and then they try to, you know, sneak a stinker under there, think we won't notice. I swear, this guy's good, mate. He's good, he'll be a good fight. And, you know, we just cross it right off and put on evenly matched fights. And this main event is no different. And, you know, people could say what they want. You know, you hear a lot of comments when this fight was made, but it takes a lot to get to this level where Chris and Conor are at. And it even takes more when you know, some people may say, oh, yeah, they got a famous last name. It's even tougher when you got a famous last name. When you're a nobody, your surname's unknown, you lose a fight, people just look the other way. When you got a famous name like these guys, you know, they lose a fight, they say, I knew he wasn't as good as his old man. That guy's no good. It takes a lot. It's easy to say anything from the sidelines, but it takes a lot to get to this level, and it's even much tougher when your father's a legend. There's a lot riding on this fight with these 2 guys, and, you know, it's one of those fights, I don't know which way it's gonna go. People I talk to, 1 week they're siding with Chris, next week they're siding with Conor. No idea which way it's gonna go. It's just one of those fights, like someone stated earlier, you're gonna remember it years down the line. And those are the types of events we wanna do. Whether it's this, whether it's Times Square, Alcatraz, the event we're doing in July in New York. We want to do stacked cards, evenly matched fights, because, you know, we don't want to be peddling garbage out there like a lot of other people are. I don't want to name any names. I won't say if any guilty parties are with me right now, but...
Name them. Go ahead. This is what we're here for.
Well, I could say a lot more, but I know Robert Smith is out here with his ticket book. I don't want to get into any trouble. He might find me enough. They may have to add me to the undercard by the end of this press conference. But, you know, I just want to say in closing, it's going to be a massive event. I look forward to this fight. And, you know, we have the stadium, and we have the fighters here, and we've even had the eggs. So we're ready. Let's go.
Okay, Rick, thank you very much. That was fantastic. Right place to kick things off. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to dive straight in with the teams. First of all, down there to my right, Jonathan Banks, Team Eubank. Jonathan, you've worked with some greats of this sport, Vladimir Klitschko, Gennady Golovkin, but in your time with this man, Chris Eubank Jr., in comparison to those greats, what have you always admired about this man's discipline, dedication, mindset, and most of all, ability?
Well, you pretty much just said it. That's what I admire about it. A lot of greats have one thing in common, and most of it is the discipline and what they're willing to sacrifice, not only to the sport, but to stay in the sport. So, me and Chris, we had a wonderful camp, and he just, day to day, after day, he was able to show how dedicated he is to the sport, how disciplined he is to continue to pretty much stay in the gym day in and day out to prepare for the show.
And I know you respect Conor Bennn, but as a student of the game, ultimately, what do you believe sets aside Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Bennn this weekend?
As a student of the game, number one, I respect any person that make up in their mind to put a pair of gloves on and defend themselves.
whether it's 10 rounds, 8 rounds, or 6 rounds. Because it takes a certain type of mental fortitude to be able to do that. And in no way in the world should that be underestimated. But even with that, I think what separates what we have going on, meaning with Chris Eubank, is his mentality is a little bit different. And I do believe that with that mentality, along with that work ethic that he has, it's gonna be the separation between the two.
Okay, Jonathan, thank you very much. We're going to hear from Team Bennn as well, Mr. Tony Sims. Tony, when you think about your relationship with Conor Bennn, when he walked into the gym as a raw novice to where he is now on the grandest of stages, what makes this personal journey between you and Conor a special one when you see all of this?
Yeah, as you say, coming in the gym as a 19-year-old teenager, he was a raw talent then, and obviously every fight that he's been in, he's been under the spotlight, and we've all watched as his talents grew, and like you say, he's here now in probably the biggest fight in boxing, certainly the biggest British fight in boxing, and you know, he'll be tuned all around the world. Everyone around the world will be watching this fight and in this magnificent stadium.
And it's 1-0 to the Eubanks, one draw, of course. How do you believe your man settles that score on Saturday night?
Yeah, well, every expert, so-called expert that I listen to or watch on social media are all favouring Chris Eubank Jr. to win the fight, because obviously they're saying that Conor's at a disadvantage moving up 2 weights, and Chris is going to be too big for him, too skillful for him. But I do believe that Conor Bennn carries the power up from welterweight to middleweight. I believe he's got the speed, and I believe in him himself that he wants this fight really badly, and obviously he's been through 2 years of hell. Over that course of time, he's gone from being a boy to a man, and we've seen in this camp that we've had 8 weeks in Palma, Mallorca. You know, I know every trainer says the camp's gone, we've had a great camp, the camp's gone fantastic, but we really haven't. He's excelled in his training and everything he's done, times on his running, his S&C, his rounds in the gym. He's been incredible. He's had world level sparring. All the sparring partners brought in are all top world level fighters, and he really has looked fantastic in sparring.
But leave that to me, because I want to talk about that.
And you know, I believe in him, and I believe that he will come out victorious on Saturday night. And like I said earlier, he's been through 2 years, and sometimes things happen for a reason. We don't know why at the time, but God has a way of looking down, and things happen for a reason. He's been through hell for 2 years. But sometimes you have to go through these things to come out on top at the end. And I believe that Conor Bennn, this is going to be his destiny. Saturday night will be his destiny, and I believe that he's going to win this fight.
Okay, Tony Sims, thank you very much. Back to the great Ronnie Davis is here. Ronnie, fantastic to have you here with us. You were, of course, in the corner for Chris Eubank Sr. against Nigel Bennn. Both fights, November 1990 in Birmingham, October 93 at Old Trafford. But Chris Eubank Jr. here is someone you've known for his whole life. You were in the hospital the day he was born, when he walked into your gym for you to officially start training him at the age of 16. I'm going to ask you a similar question that I asked Tony. How proud are you of Chris Eubank Jr. and the man he has become?
Yeah, I'm obviously very proud of the kid. He's done great. He's been through some hard times. But he's like his father. Nothing beats him, mentally or physically. Always world class. When I first saw his father come in the gym, and I looked at him straight away, and I've been in this game a long time, I thought about the same with him. He's a brilliant kid. it'll be Conor, no disrespect to the other team, Tony and everyone, but he's too good for you, Conor, but I wish you the best of luck, that's all I can say.
The great Ronnie Davis, ladies and gentlemen, here with us today. We're going to hear quickly as well from the promoters on either side. Firstly, Bennn Shalom. Bennn, here we go, this is it. You were just talking to me off stage there, a lot of hard work behind the scenes, but we're here now. Not long to go until what we're all waiting for, the sound of that opening bell. Make your case.
I can't quite believe we're here. It's been a long road. It's almost a pinch yourself moment. Eubank, Bennn, 3. October 93, that was the month I was born in Manchester. And now we're here, part of the biggest British boxing story ever. It's an amazing feeling to be here. I think everyone's going to remember this event. Just look at the media attention here today. I've never seen anything quite like it, but for me it's because of Chris Eubank Jr., the biggest name in British boxing outside of that heavyweight division. He's a huge star, and I think, to be honest, it's those big nights that he's been in, it's those big fights that he's had that is going to see him through on Saturday night. It's a monumental event. It's the first Ring Magazine event as well, so to see them put this on, a sold-out Tottenham Hotspur straight off the bat, it's incredible. Thank you to our partners, Matchroom, and thank you to the Ring Magazine, thank you to His Excellency, but most of all, thank you to Chris Eubank Jr. for making this event what it is, and I'm looking forward to an absolute statement on Saturday night.
Ben, thank you. Absolute statement. Promoter Eddie Hearn, over to you to make your case for Conor Bennn this weekend.
Yeah, just a few thank yous. Thanks to Rick for... I knew this was coming. Do you know what I've been thinking?
It's coming.
Do you know what I've been thinking? Can I not even say a few thank yous, or...?
No.
Okay, Matchroom have to speak, right? So I'm going to switch it up. I'm just going to firstly say how proud I am of Conor Bennn, what he's been through these last 2 years, and I can't wait for him to smash you to pieces on Saturday night. But Matchroom have to be represented, so I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to let someone else speak on my behalf. I'm going to let someone else speak on my behalf. I'm going to introduce you to scumbag number 2, Frank Smith. Come and take over.
Frank, if Eddie's not speaking, do you think you're going to get a word in? Come on.
No, but I don't speak as long as he does. That's the one thing I'll give you. I'll be very quick.
We're going to have some parliamentary procedure today, and anything that Matchroom, Eddie Hearn or Frank Smith have to say is irrelevant and will not be heard.
Thank you very much, Chris. Appreciate your kind introduction.
No problem.
Appreciate it. Look, I'm going to be very quick because I don't want to get cut off.
You are going to be very quick.
I'm going to be very quick,
You're
Chris.
not going to say anything.
Chris, don't worry. I'm saying something, aren't I? So, it seems to be working.
There's
so
no way you guys are going to
sorry, I can't hear you.
If I direct a question to you or to Eddie, then you can speak.
It's very honourable.
Outside of that, I don't want to hear a repeat.
Thank you very much.
Talk to me, or if you try and do your little speeches to the media, I'm going to shut it down. Because guess what? People aren't here to listen to you already speak. They want to hear what me and Conor have to say.
I don't disagree with that, but people want to hear
how much time you're going to waste.
You're allowed him to speak.
You're not going to out-talk me. You're not going to
No, I'm going to dare out-talk you. I know I can't out-talk you, Chris.
Exactly.
You're a very good
So I
talker.
don't know why you're on the stage, but you should probably get Eddie back in.
It was just to help.
I've got a better chance to say anything than you do, trust me.
Oh, really?
Eddie's irrelevant, but you are...
Super irrelevant.
Exactly.
I know. I'm so irrelevant. You called me a scumbag in a press conference. It was nice of you to bring up my name. Thank you very much. But anyway, I'm going to be very quick.
I know you're going to be quick. I've told you already.
Many years.
There are no words that you're going to say here that are going to fucking get past the fact that I've said you're not speaking.
Okay.
We can do the back and forth.
Yeah.
It can get boring.
It could get very boring, so I'll end it
will
here.
get boring.
I can't wait for Saturday night. It's going to be a great night. Thank you to the Ring Magazine. Thank you to Turkey and Shake. That shake.
Congratulations.
Very
Good
much.
2 words. Everybody, try his best.
Thank you very much for immensely helping my profile. Thank you. I'll pass it on now to people more important than myself.
Yeah. Okay.
And thank you.
Have a good day.
Sorry, two-weight world champion, Mr. Nigel Bennn, is in the house here as well this evening. Nigel, This is what you and Chris Eubank Sr. started.
Yep.
And here we are, 32 years on after your last meeting. Your sons relight the flame once again.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, your feelings? What's been, as well, the biggest piece of advice you've passed on to Conor this week?
Do you know what? I watched him. You know the saying goes, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But what happens in Mallorca, I'm telling. I am telling. And I'll tell you about Conor's sparring, and God is my witness. First he started sparring with Bennn, super middleweight, but really at light heavyweight. Had his hands full with Conor. I mean, Conor was just going through it 10 rounds, done it easy. Then he was sparring with a guy that knocked out Munguia, Bruno, I can't remember his last name, Ceres, been sparring with him, another light heavy. Conor was bullying him around. And then to put the cherry on top, he started sparring with a guy called William Skull, an IBF champion, who's fighting a week after Conor. Coming here 12-handed, shouldn't say it, but you know what, because for the last 2 years when I've been here negative, I'm going to tell you about my son. First 4 rounds, him and Conor were even Stevens, and they were going, oh, perfecto, 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 every time he was hitting Conor. Conor was just walking him down. Then a flat back round, I think 5, he was like, no, because Conor only had 40 seconds rest. And then what he was doing in between the middle of the rounds, he was sitting on the rope because he was tired. Then it came to round 5, 6, 7, started feeling the pace. This is William Skull, IBF champion. Superstar. And then after that, now you can't shut me up, mate, because you ain't been where I've been. I'm trying to shut you up. I'm enjoying But anyway, but then what happened, round 8 came. And then, Tony, we looked at each other and we thought, he just quit. He just stopped. Couldn't take no more. After 8 rounds, and then we were doing 10 rounds. And me and Tony looked at each other and think, what the friggin' hell just happened there? And I got my boy and I thought, my little boy. He just damaged the IBF world champion. And you know what it is? I am so confident this don't go past 4 rounds. I know my son. Back him all the way. And Conor's not a 12-round fighter. He's an old school fighter that can do 15 rounds. But you're gonna see him, mate, the power that he's got. No one ain't seen him for the last 2 years. Oh my gosh, you lot are in for a treat. Mark my word, you are in for a big, big treat. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much. Here we go then. Let's hear from the fighters, both sides of Saturday's main event. Firstly, Mr. Chris Eubank Jr. Chris, you told the DAZN broadcast this week that you are at peace. There is no chip on your shoulder. Despite all of this and everything that is seemingly at stake on Saturday night, what is helping you to have that feeling of tranquility right now?
I know what's coming. I prepared my whole life for these moments. I've put the time in. I've dedicated decades to the sport, and I've done it all without cheating, without cutting any corners, and I'm proud of that. The mentality I have, the experience I have, the fortitude, and the will is what I will be using on the night to take out my adversary, Conor Bennn.
Conor, you've been on big stages, under the spotlight, since you turned professional. For both of you, big shoes to fill. But on Saturday night, when you ring walked in front of over 65,000 fans and everything that's on the line, how have you remained in control of your emotions on a week like this?
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is what I do. I love this game. This is what I live for. You know, this is every fighter's dream when they turn professional to live this life. You know, there was no more pressure than a 19-year-old kid with no amateur experience walking out to a packed O2 arena. That's pressure. You know, I've been doing this for 10 years and you know, I'm more than prepared, more than ready. You know, we should have Saturday night tonight.
Chris, you've said the procedure will be parliamentary. You know what that means, but for those of us who don't know, can you paint that in a picture for us? What does that look like on Saturday night?
Conor speaks about pressure and dealing with it, but you know, there's a reason why he had his training camp in Spain. You know, the kid had to flee his own country to prepare for this fight. He knew that he couldn't handle the pressure of, you know, walking these UK streets and having people shouting out drug cheat and egg jokes. He didn't want to be involved in any of that. So he took himself away, hid away, and you know, now he's back, and now he thinks he can use me to kind of get back into the good graces. You know, I haven't fled. I haven't hid away from anything. I've been in these streets. I've been to gyms all over London over the last 2 months. I've been and spoke to kids. I've done all the media obligations I needed to do around the country. I felt the energy on the streets of the UK over these last 2 months, and it's real. You know, people are invested in this. You know, everywhere I go, people are screaming, and most of the time it's positive, which is it's a new thing for me. I'm still getting used to that, but you know, I am happy with the place I am at mentally. I don't think Conor can say the same thing. I think he's feeling the pressure and the heat. I think he's feeling that, and he's going to feel a hell of a lot more in a couple of days' time.
If the procedure is to be parliamentary, Conor, what's on your manifesto of what happens? And in response to Chris, are you feeling the pressure?
No pressure. You know, I live for this. I've had the fight over 100 times in my head. You know, for me, it's just focusing on the training. You know, removing myself from my comfort zones, my familiarities, my family, and you know, fully dialing in. You know, I'm not gonna allow myself to Chris and go back and forth, and you know, all that PR is done. I'm excited to get in there and put my hands on him Saturday night. I've read a bit of all the rubbish he wants to talk and you know, names, and you know, we're not at school. And come Saturday night, I get to put my hands on him.
You will be at school on Saturday, my friend. I'm taking you right to school.
Well done, you.
That school, I'm going to be the headmaster, my friend.
Yeah.
And you will be in detention.
You are funny, Chris. You made me laugh. Just focus on getting away, off fat boy.
Weight. It's weight. Weight is, everyone always talking about this weight thing. You know, yeah. The weight is painful.
Yeah, good.
I'm in pain right now. I'll be in even more pain tonight and tomorrow morning.
And the worst pain you've ever experienced comes Saturday night. I promise you that right now.
Now, the question I ask myself is, what is pain?
Oh, shut up.
No, I'm serious. What is it?
Oh, shut up.
I have a 31-year-old brother. He's buried in the desert in Dubai. That's pain. You know? I have his son, Raheem, 3 years old. You know, he asks, why can't I see my daddy? Why doesn't he take me to school? That's pain. My own father, a man I idolized for my entire life, and he doesn't speak to me. We haven't spoken for years, and he thinks I'm a disgrace. You know, these things are what pain is to me. And if I can deal with all of these trials and tribulations, then the weight cut and the rehydration clause, these are all things that are not an issue They are not important.
Chris, in the build-up to the original date, you said 60% is what you'll be, and 60% will be enough. What percent will you be on Saturday, and what percent will be enough to beat Conor Bennn?
We're not doing the percentages anymore. That was for the first time around before Conor got caught cheating. Now it's about preparing to get this kid out of boxing. We're not taking him lightly anymore. He should have taken the chance he had in that first fight. When I was underestimating, when I was, playing, when I was taking him lightly, that was his best shot. Now it's gone, because now I have a duty to boxing, to the public, to the fans who he's lied to, who Eddie Hearn's lied to for the last 2-3 years. I have a duty to erase these guys from the picture.
Conor, the Ring magazine reported in the last couple of hours that you have requested for Billy Joe Saunders to inspect the raps of Chris Eubank Jr.
Don't ruin all the surprises, Jamie.
Well, the Ring magazine reported it before.
Maybe not.
What do you make of that, Chris?
It's irrelevant. Hand wraps is not going to save Conor Bennn from the arse kicking he's about to receive.
Ooh, scary.
Conor, hearing you speak this week, you say what gets you out of bed on those early morning runs is the fear of losing to another man. What about the fear of losing to this man, Chris Eubank?
Yeah, listen, it's always personal. I'm a very emotional fighter. I fight with my heart on my sleeve, and it's the way I've been my whole career. It's the only way I know. So for me, he is another man. Yes, his name is Eubank, and I won't be losing to a fighter whose name's Eubank, especially not this one.
He says he has no game plan, Chris, just a hop, skip, and a right hand, and that will be all she wrote. Do you believe him?
No, I don't. But that's the beautiful thing about this sport. It doesn't matter what you believe. All that matters is what actually happens once that bell goes. And nobody knows what's going to happen until it happens. What I do know is whatever strategy, whatever game plan these people have come up with, nothing will prepare them for the fire that they're going to receive in a couple of days' time.
Final one to you, Chris. You did say it's impossible that this fight goes 12 rounds. As a final message, how do you beat Conor Bennn on Saturday night in the dream scenario?
How do I beat Conor Bennn? Any way I want to. It's not about strength and speed and age and weight, all the things that you guys love to talk about. It's about dedication. It's about paying, who's paid their dues and who's done it clean, who's dedicated their life, who's real and who's fake. And I believe all of those categories are in my favor.
And Conor, final one to yourself. You've told us no game plan. You don't need a game plan. When the opening bell rings here at Tottenham Hotspur, what happens?
Yeah, I'm coming here to take his head off.
And just finally, Chris, Eubank's supremacy. That's what you've kept talking about in the build-up to this fight. You can cement that on Saturday. Is that part of what comes with all of this occasion for you as well, personally?
Legacy indeed. I'm confident. I still want that £1 million bet that Eddie Hearn said he wanted to do. Eddie, what's up, man? We gonna put the mill on or what?
Not allowed to talk now.
Well, I asked you a question, so of course, get on the stage and answer.
Yeah, I'll talk. Firstly, I want to say how proud I am of Conor.
No. When I say talk, I mean answer the question. Are you going to fulfill the bet, or are you going to run away like the weasel that you are? I tell you what. So his excuse at the moment is he's going to get fined $100,000 by the board if he bets, and that's why he can't bet me this £1 million that he said publicly that he wanted to do. So how about I make it easier for you and I'll put $1 million up and you put 900,000 up, so I've covered the 100K fine that you're gonna get that you can't afford to pay. And let's get it on that way. Let's put the money in escrow tonight and winner takes all on Saturday. How about that?
As I said to your promoter over there, we will have a conversation with Mr. Smith. If I won't face any penalties on my licence, we can consider it. In the meantime, get back to the hotel, take that weight off, and get prepared to get an absolute spanking on Saturday night.
Always a way to weasel your way out of what you're supposed to be doing, which is honouring your word.
If anyone, Frank Smith, maybe you can.
What?
The bet?
I haven't got £1 million, mate. Do you think I'd be up here doing this? I'd be on a beach somewhere if I had that much money.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that does conclude the final press conference. Nearly time for the sound of that opening bell Saturday night. We're going to pause now.